Hello everyone and welcome back to Kinkoi, Reina's Route. Let's find out what the fallout from the events of yesterday looks like. The next day. As for whether she was worried about what happened yesterday and whether or not my relationship with Reina was strained,
行く。
not promising. Morning.
おーら、元気かい？私は元気だよ。
Cool, good to hear.
じゃあね。
Okay, bye. Things were spectacularly awkward. Well, yeah, given what happened.
何かございましたの？
You have no idea. Nothing at all.
Stupid sexy Flanders!
Not that I could tell people anyway.
でも様子がおかしかったですわね、キサキさん。ゆうべ、鳴沢なんちゃらとかいう芸能人が違法なバーに通っていた旨で逮捕されたそうですが、そのせいでしょうか？
Why would Narusawa affect Reina's behavior? Weird connection jump. Could be. There was an incident like that? Huh, I had no idea. Well, it's not like we didn't have other things going on yesterday that took precedence.
警察にいろいろ聞かれて疲れた。
Oh. Hi. Here was another person that would likely be awkward to deal with. I mean, that's kind of our default interaction with Jogasaki, so why would it be any different? As for her...
おはようございます。
Yeah, good morning.
その、いい天気ですね。
Okay, right into the small talk. Yes. Yep, this was awkward. Then again, my relationship with Jogasaki had always been somewhat snide and hostile, so this overly mindful treatment might be preferable. She was indebted to me after yesterday, and I doubted she would try to drive me away any longer. Flop.
市松さんに弱みを握られるなんて屈辱。
Okay, well, I guess to our faces, at least she's being nicer, so it's something.
でも仕方ありませんね。もともとクルス・クラウンさんのお知り合いというだけで手を出すには難しい相手でしたし、卒業まで我慢するほかないようです。仕方ありません。クラスに庶民が一人増えただけのこと。
Does this qualify as her resigned acceptance of us?
クラスに粗暴で下品な庶民が。クラスに粗暴で下品で。
I think we broke her.
犯してもらうとすごく気持ちのいい庶民が。
Yep, definitely broke her. I wonder what's going to happen. I wanted to fix my relationship with Reina somehow. Either way, the issue of whether she was pregnant or not came first. She was apparently going to get examined by a gynecologist in a week. That being the case, there was no action I could take for another week either. Oh? Another week would be the end of second term. Ugh, talk about crappy timing. If I sat on this too long, my ordinary relationship with Reina was liable to go straight down the drain. But if I were to act without consulting her first...
市松くん。
Yes. What? Oh, you scared me. A classmate suddenly came in. This is my room, you know. At least knock, like that stops anybody else. Granted, there were plenty of people, namely Mina-chan and Reina, who had a free pass to come in, but still. And Ria.
そんなことより、お客さん来た。
Ah, must be Toryo. We probably totally forgot about that. Huh? Oh.
なんだよ、約束しただろ。
I don't remember anything. I had completely forgotten. Before all of that happened with Reina and Jogasaki, I guess I had made plans to meet him today. I said I'd meet him at the station, but he must have come here directly when I didn't show.
はじめまして、島くん。お噂は金がね。私、学園で市松くんと仲良くさせていただいてます。加賀芽衣子って言います。
はい。この前来た時、案内してくれた人ですよね。お世話になりました。
覚えててくれた。
It's the best day ever. Talk about a noisy onlooker. What's up? I didn't know what that important matter was that he wanted to discuss. But all Toryo would do whenever I asked was to give an ambiguous laugh. That does not inspire much confidence, but okay.
用ってほどじゃないけど。まあ、ほら、居場所も分かったことだし、顔見に。
That's so. Well, you saw me. We done here? Guess not. My mind was fully preoccupied with Reina at the moment, so I didn't have time to spare to keep him company and desperately wanted to escape. But...
くら。
Whoa.
島くんになんちゅう言い方するんじゃい。顔見に来た。いいじゃない。見せてあげなさいよ、あと10時間くらい。
Okay. My female classmates sure were scary. Didn't look like I could manage to escape either. Talk about trouble. As for Toryo, he was just plain bumbling on what he wanted to say. So I couldn't get away. The entire atmosphere between us went stagnant.
島くん、お話って言うならどうかな。こんな寒いところじゃなくて。
He came to talk to me. He didn't come to talk to us. Move along. Not in the dorm. This guy stuck out like a sore thumb, and my room was off limits.
お昼近いし、食べに行くとかは？美味しいお店知ってるの。
This situation was becoming more and more troublesome by the second.
ああ、昼か。いいかも。
You're not helping.
どうだ、オロ。
At the moment, I'm full of... She pinched my back.
市松くんも行くって。私道案内するよ。
そっか。ありがとう。
いえいえいえいえ。ねえ。
Girls were scary. Kaga-san, I said this before, but Toryo's got a girlfriend, okay? Oh, now you tell me, thanks. I whispered quietly.
わかってる。わかってる、あんたの言いたいことは。でも一回くらいいいじゃない。私の人生で数少ない有名人とのデートチャンス。一回くらい楽しんだっていいじゃない。ここで印象づけとけば、彼女さんと別れた時、真っ先に私に意識がいくかもですね。
That's very maniacal. Girls were scary. I'm just gonna change the emphasis every time it comes up, since apparently that's the underlying theme of this episode. Why don't you and Toryo go by yourselves then? I'm going to my room.
あんたがいなきゃ成立しないでしょうが。ちょっと待ってて。
For whatever reason, she dashed back toward the dorm.
彼女、どうかした？
Many things. Don't worry about it. Her personality is a mild condensation of the worst aspects of a woman, but she's not a bad person.
そっか。可愛い子だよな。
We can't confirm that right now.
何その顔。
Being an airhead certainly made it easier for you to seduce women. Ooh.
Huh?
Yeah. Phew, right over his head. A certain gymnast who was famous for his impressive armpit hair was in a decade-long relationship and ended up having a kid with another woman when he was away for 3 months to train. Even after he won the gold medal, he and the baby's mother are still on bad terms.
何の話よ。
I have no idea. I'm just reminding you not to forget about Chaika.
シエカちゃんは今関係ないだろ。
Doesn't she, though? Oh yeah, I haven't seen her lately. You two made any progress?
だから彼女は辛い時支えてくれる子だけど、別にそういう関係じゃ。
So that's a no then?
お前にも悪いし、卒業するまではそういうことはないよ。
They were being considerate of me, huh? This guy was a total pain in the neck. Ah well, Chaika had taken a liking to his guileless nature, so it wasn't my place to complain. For that matter, I didn't plan to butt into anything Chaika did anymore. Oh yeah, what's she up to right now?
シエカちゃんにも連絡取ってないわけ？
Nah. We've been estranged since summer, same as you.
最近シエカちゃんからもお前の名前が出ないと思ったら連絡してやれよ。彼女も心配してるぜ。
Okay, Mom. If I feel like it.
おーい
Oh, you're back. Kaga came back.
ごめんなさい。友達が一緒に行きたいって言うから。
Gonna have to bust out the black card to pay for everybody.
おごってくれるってマジタン？なら一緒に。
Oh, okay. So this is what gets her out. All right. Oh, never mind. I was at a major loss as to how to react to the person she brought along. She also froze in place when she spotted me.
2対2よ。これならいいでしょ。市松くん的にもなかなか嬉しい人選っしょ。
Kaga-san asked smugly. This was a selection that would have made me happy up until yesterday morning. Reina quickly took a step away. But...
行くよ、レイナ。フォローよろしく。
She couldn't run away from a friend's request. Her good nature was her downfall, I guess you could say.
島くんってよく行かれるカフェとかあるんですか？
カフェみたいなおしゃれなところはどうも。練習後はみんなで銭湯にはよく行くけど。
That's not really comparable.
そうなんだ。
Okay, well maybe it is for her. As I watched Kaga's fierce onslaught from the sidelines... How's it going? The mood on our end was equally intense. Listen, Reina.
おう、オーロ、どうしたんだい？今日はすごくいい天気だね。出かけるには最高さ。
Did you know you can capture Pokemon by using Pokeballs? Settle down. She didn't know how to handle the tension and was spinning her wheels in a pretty spectacular fashion.
ねごっちめ。オーロがいるなら言ってよ。
Don't be so hateful.
嫌ってないよ。ただ好きなんて言ってないかんね。
Calm down. She was still in a panic. You were calm about possibly being pregnant yesterday, so why are you freaking out about what I said now?
だって。
She clapped her hands against her rosy red cheeks, hopefully on her face.
オーロはもう男友達の中じゃベストくらいに仲良かったから急にだと。
I see. That made me happy to hear. I was apparently the best of her friend group. With that being the case, it would be difficult to transition from friendship to love. The fact that I had Reina on my mind, but hadn't made a move until this past week because I couldn't throw away my friendship with her was more than enough proof. Oh, what could I do about this? You know, Reina, you don't need to think about it that hard. It's not like I want us to become a couple or anything right this very second. I'm fine with the way things are now. So, well, what I'm trying to say is... I whispered into her ear. Thank you for telling me before this time. If you're not pregnant, we can pretend I never said what I did yesterday. That was how I really felt. Once I told her, Reina thought for a moment with a distressed expression and... still looking just as bothered. I guess once that Pandora's box is opened, that's pretty much all she wrote.
これまでみたいになんて見れないよ、オーロのこと。どうしても昨日の思い出しちゃうし。
I'm sure you will. I understood how she felt. If at all possible, I wish we could forget all about yesterday and carry on leisurely as friends. There were no takebacks now that we'd come this far. That's just how life was. Would there be a night or a golden color that lay past it? That was the sole difference.
でも、頑張る。
Alright, that's about the best we can hope for at this point.
とりあえず友達くらいで、今のオーロは OK なんよね。
Yeah.
ならまずそれは維持できるように頑張る。それ以上のことは、検査が済んだらにしよう。
That would help me out a lot too. We cut the conversation short until next week. It's gonna be a long week. A part of me thought, if only we took this opportunity to take one huge step forward. This would work for the time being, though. We were far more comfortable going at a modest pace. In the end, the day passed with Kaga leading us all around.
じゃあ、オロ。
Yeah.
また来てね。練習頑張って。
I saw Toryo off, and told him off too. It occurred to me that I hadn't got to talk to Toryo at all. Why had he even come in the first place? Hamanon typically scheduled practice for every single Saturday, and the players only had a couple of days off per year. Hey, just like Sylvie. Why would he want to waste such a precious day off? He went that far to come see me? Oh my god, I think he might love me. Oh well, if he had something he wanted to tell me, I was sure he'd visit again. There were more important things for me to worry about right now.
オーロ、寒いよ。中入ろ。
Yeah. Namely that Reina had started acting like my friend again. Okay, well that's a positive. I was happier this way.
金色ラブリッチェ。おはよう。
Hi, Sylvie.
おはようございます。
Hi, Ella. Hey. It was a relief to see people from outside of the dorm. This had been one hectic weekend. That is an understatement.
なんだか疲れているわね、オーロ。土日と休めなかったの？
A bunch of stuff happened. Yeah.
あんなことがあっては仕方ありませんね。城ヶ崎殿から事情は聞いています。
How much did you hear? Huh?
なぜそんなに驚かれるので？
Because Jogasaki did? She told you? About the threesome? Oh, what? No! She wouldn't have told them about that. Why would you even put it out there? Never mind.
例の香を市松殿や木崎殿が吸ってしまった旨を聞きました。大変だったでしょう。ああした薬物は自律神経などに悪影響を与えますから。
Oh, you were talking about the incense.
3P とは？
It's a poker game. Absolutely nothing at all. She had apparently kept the threesome itself under wraps, but had told Ella-san about the incense we breathed in.
体に変調があればおっしゃってください。すぐ医療措置を手配します。
The only physical anomaly I noticed was the force of nature. In my pants. I will. I feel fine right now.
よかった。
That was one dangerous incense. She must have been worried about my having breathed it in. I didn't want to know what would become of someone as serious as her if she were to breathe it in.
3P って何？
Nothing you need to concern yourself with. Move along.
よくは存じませんが、市松殿と城ヶ崎殿でなさったそうです。木崎殿も混ざっていたのかな？
Oh no.
いいわね、楽しそう。ねえ、オロ、私とも 3P しましょうよ。
Okay. I'd love to if I could.
はよーし。おはよう、レナ。
おはようございます。お体どこか悪いところは？
寝不足くらい。
Hey.
おす。
She greeted me as her cheeks flushed with a light shade of pink. This was probably good enough for today. There was no need to rush.
ねえねえ、レナ、今週のどこかで一緒に遊べない？
Oh, please don't suggest a threesome. That's gonna bring up all kinds of issues.
ん？いいよ。なんで遊ぶ？あのね、3P!
I knew it was coming. Okay, stop. Grab. I covered her mouth. Again.
3P?
Never mind. And then... How much of that did you hear? Yet another person that I felt questionably distant from had arrived.
おはようございます。
はよーい。おはようございます。
Jogasaki was the same as ever to the others. She was treating Reina the same way too. They certainly weren't close enough to call each other friends, but genial classmates. Which was when... Morning. All is right with the world. Ah. She ignored me and went off somewhere.
ありゃ。あやかっちはやっぱダメか。
At least until the DLC. She's her usual self in a sense, though, ignoring me.
あやかと何かあったの？
Nothing at all. We decided to treat it like it was nothing. The way she treated me was ostensibly the same as before. Nothing happened between us, and that was for the best.
それにしては、今日のあやか、なんだか。
So this time, Sylvie is the world's greatest detective.
顔を合わせただけで、お尻がキュンキュンついてますわ。
I don't know if that's a positive statement or not.
昨日も彼のものを思って3回も自分で。私どうしたらいいんです？
Okay, well, positive statement it is, I suppose. Not for her, but for us? I don't even know.
ねえねえ、 ところでオーロにレイナ、二人はクリスマスって何か用事はあって？
Christmas? The 24th? No, Christmas in July.
次の次の日曜日。あるっちゃあるけど、何？実はね、うちの別荘でちょっとしたパーティーを用意しているの。
You know, something casual, few hundred diplomats, envoys, that kind of thing.
簡易な式ですが、全員を招待しています。
All? Even everyone from class?
学園関係者全員。
That's not exactly a small get-together. That's 300 people. Can you book a venue like that?
うちの別荘ならそれくらいは入るわ。
That doesn't surprise me at all.
広いもんね、シルビンチ。
Have we been there in this route? I don't think we have. The bourgeoisie had turned up for the first time in a while.
と言っても、すでにお断りを受けたのが半分ほど。最終的にはそれほどの集いにはならないでしょうが。いかがでしょうか？
What should I do? It is Christmas and all.
市松殿は不参加ですか。残念です。
Right, you can't use sarcasm with them. They don't understand it.
オーロ来ないの？
シルビー様、無理を言ってはなりません。
それもそうね。残念だけど仕方ないわ。オーロは不参加と。
Wait, I'm not saying I won't go. My manly pride took a bit of a hit when I instantly gave the okay after being offered the invitation. I'd assume there will be food.
最上級のものがご用意できるかと。
Excellent. I'll be there then.
やったー！レーナはどう？夜だよね。ならいけると思うよ。多分。さあ、じゃあ来られたらね。
Reina's reaction was a bit poor, but Sylvie remained considerate. What did Reina have planned for Christmas, though? You have something planned? It weighed on my mind. She had told me that there was no man in her life, but having plans over Christmas typically meant...
次の次の日曜でしょ？検査があるの。2回目の。
I get it. When I heard Sunday, I remembered. Reina's pregnancy checkup was next Sunday, and it should tell us whether she was expecting or not at that point. However, every woman was unique in how their bodies reacted to the fertilization of the egg and any physical changes that occurred during pregnancy. The best approach was apparently to perform a 2-week and 1-month post-checkup. As far as I could tell, Reina seemed unaffected by it the first week out.
二人ともどうかしました？
Nah, nothing. It would obviously still be a delicate situation if the news got out.
むむ。
Uh-oh. Sylvie's bloodhound nose is on the case. That night.
あら。
Something wrong?
ゲロ。お姉様がお呼びですわ。いつもの場所へお行きなさい。
Light the beacon! The usual? I had gotten used to these random summons from a princess. The only difference today was in who I was dealing with.
あまり長い時間は持ちませんわ。お早めにとお伝えになって。
Sure. Mina-chan joined me outside and headed toward the city. As we did, there were signs of Mina-chan's bodyguards lurking in the shadows. Okay, so that raises the question, were there just a bunch of bodyguards at various points taking ninja action during Sylvie's route, so we just didn't see them, but they were there? Mina-chan's black-suited guards faded away. Ooh, creepy. And just as they did...
こっちよ、オーラ。
Yeah. Sylvie came along to lead the way. What's up? Hard to believe you drove away the guards. There were no bodyguards with her today, not even Ella-san. Sylvie was alone. The black suits had been cleared out.
久しぶりにオーロと二人で話したくて。キュロちゃん、15分くらい、ね。
Oh, you know it's serious when she's dismissing Kyuro. The final bodyguard on her person left to guard the path to the lake.
さあ、楽しみましょうか。
This is awfully elaborate. We were completely and utterly alone. This was a situation I hadn't found myself in quite some time. It got me a little tense. It's already chilly, so I can't recommend we stick around for too long.
わかってる。15分で切り上げる予定よ。
I took a seat as she prepared the piping hot cup of milk tea for me.
それで、ねえねえオーロ、前回のお話の続きよ。
I figured that's where this was going. I knew this would happen from the second she invited me for a tea party.
レーナとの関係、何か進展があったんでしょ？お見通しよ。白状なさい。
I mean, I would, but it's kind of chilly and I actually want to drink this tea. It'd be a lie if I said there hadn't been some progress. Not that I wanted to give her any specifics. Sylvie had been curious about this particular topic since last week's tea party, but there was a clear difference between then and now. Of all the things that could have happened this week, I may have gotten Reina pregnant. Our relationship had no choice but to move forward, no matter how we may struggle otherwise.
告白はした？
You shouldn't ask something like that. Don't ask prying questions, yeesh. But, yeah? I did. It wasn't something to hide either.
いいわね、告白。恋愛の醍醐味は告白よね。
You have no idea the thrills, though, that we've experienced.
どんな風に？やっぱりバラに敷き詰められた教会で結婚してくださいってオーロからひざまずいて？
No. Not exactly. As if there's anyone in Japan who'd do that. There were probably only 2 or 3 like that on Earth. I can't say how I did it. I couldn't tell her we had sex under the influence, then confess to her in a panic when I realized I may have gotten her pregnant.
ならいいわ。で、レーナの返事は？
She needed more time.
レーナの態度は変わっていないから多分そうだと思ったけれど。
To you, maybe. I couldn't say why she'd put her answer on hold, but Sylvie accepted it without an explanation.
でも大丈夫よオーロ。私そんなオーロのためにクリスマスのパーティーを企画したんだもの。
Wing woman! Huh? It's for me?
え？
I had thought this was just some princess's lark, but I'd been her central focus. It made me happy if I took this as an act of kindness, but it did put me on the spot. What is it? A dance party of sorts, I bet? Where am I supposed to confess after the dance is over?
バラを散りばめたムードバッチリの場所を用意しておくわ。
Wow, okay. Well, I guess we're really setting the mood then, aren't we? You also want to give me a magic pumpkin and some glass slippers while we're at it? Spare me, please. I clearly couldn't go along with that. I shook my head. It would be pointless even if she did prepare a place for me to confess, because I already did, in a much less romantic setting. What's important right now is how Reina feels. Her feelings will determine everything. Despite how messy everything had been, I'd already said everything I needed to say. The only question left were Reina's feelings. This wasn't something I could control.
そう。レーナはなぜ保留にするか言っていた？
about that. If I were to leave out anything pregnancy related, basically, she doesn't know if we can date because we're friends. I did think that was the biggest issue Reina was hung up on. She was worried our friendship would fall apart. I was naturally concerned by that aspect too. The biggest issue to both of us was...
なにそれ
not something that made sense to a princess.
お友達だからお付き合いできないってどういうこと
Well, because it would change the nature of our relationship.
そんなのおかしいわ。お友達で恋人。それでいいじゃない。
It's not that simple.
簡単よ。
I was pretty serious, but she wouldn't understand. Sylvie made it sound like it were the easiest thing in the world.
要するに、お友達と恋人のバランスが取れていればいいのでしょ？それって、レイナの一番得意なことだわ。
That is true. Reina is very good at balancing acts. Balance. I had heard that word before. Balance, huh? That's a word I'd not heard in several episodes. Reina was good at maintaining an interpersonal balance.
まあ、本人のことだから難しいこともあるかもだけど、その分はオーロがフォローしてあげて。
That is my goal.
ほら、ね。そしたらみんなラブラブでみんなハッピーよ。
Sylvie flashed a carefree smile. I wasn't sure I should say this to a princess, but... Sylvie, you're... I get it now. Breezy.
能天気？天気は晴れてるけど。
I don't mean the weather, I mean your personality. That's a wonderful personality trait to have.
そう？
Easy breezy. That appeared to be all she wanted to discuss, as she took a breather and grabbed her cup of black tea. There was little we could discuss in such a short amount of time, and our 15 minutes was now up. I'm sorry, your time is up.
ねえオーロ、私、オーロもレイナも大好きよ。
That's great, we're not inviting you to another threesome. We're not inviting you to a threesome, eh? I was totally used to hearing the word at this point, but it still made me blush.
私、この日本に来て毎日すごく楽しいけれど、そのうち半分くらいは二人がそばにいてくれるからだわ。私のゴールデンタイムは二人なの。
There it is! Everybody take a drink.
クリスマス、期待していて。とても楽しいパーティーを開く予定だから。
Yeah.
姫様
Oh, she's back.
お、来ちゃった。
Did you not actually arrange to have this meeting with her? Did you just kind of slip out? I heard the scary person's voice.
キュロちゃん、ふえ。
Suddenly, the toy's mouth opened wide and Sylvie tossed the entire tea set inside its bowels. Oh man, I forgot that Kyora's basically a tiny bag of holding.
じゃあオーロ、私は行くから。
Sure.
キュロちゃん、ゴー。う
Okay, Kuro is also a jetpack. Sylvie's blasting off again! I must go, my people need me. Once Sylvie hopped on, flames burst from Kuro's legs and took off into the air. That thing becomes more and more ridiculous every day.
姫様、またベッドを抜け出して。
I know.
あ、
Sylvia and Ella-san were their usual selves. If we don't see every single one of Kuro's 70-some-odd features by the end of this game, I'm going to be very disappointed. With that, I headed back to the dorm. But not by Kuro. By foot. The thing that I was most mindful of in this rich girl's dorm happened around 9 o'clock each night. Everyone went to bed all at the same time, leaving the foyer empty. They had almost absurdly healthy circadian rhythms. But it wasn't as if there weren't those who didn't fit that mold. Hi. Yo! What's up?
ちょっと寝れなくてね。寒いからかな。
She was drinking a hot coffee milk. The cure for all things. Coffee milk.
すぐ部屋戻るよ。おやすみ、オーロ。
Seemingly satisfied by our discussion, Reina finished her drink and stood up. Hang on a sec.
え？何？
It's not what you think. I invited her to my place so we could have a leisurely chat.
こんな直球の送り狼に狙われるとは。
You followed me willingly, so I didn't drag you anywhere.
なるほど。
Reina was acting like her normal self. But you're not going to be able to sleep for a while since you just had coffee. Keep me company and let's talk.
私カフェインは全然平気な人だけど。
Hey, me too! Yeah, I've heard Japanese people have a high tolerance for caffeine, but have trouble fending off drowsiness. The fact that you were drinking that all probably means you're having trouble sleeping, right? Coffee milk was optimal for boosting her mood, and improving all of life's problems. Additionally, Reina chugging down a coffee milk at this hour meant she was down in the dumps. What happened?
いやー、まあね。一晩経ったら、いろいろ考えてきちゃって。
She patted her belly. I got it. She was feeling anxious now that she'd found time to think. This isn't something I can really say, but all you can do for now is to wait for the results of your examination. You can think about it after. The odds of her conceiving were low, and there were plenty of paths she could take if she were to get pregnant. As such, there was nothing to worry about right now, but I bet there was still nothing she could do to help that uneasy feeling it gave her. I sat beside her. Come here.
え？あ！
Plof. The magic dragon? I pulled her head in close and gave her a lap pillow.
この前とパターンが逆だね。
Yep. Looks like it. You can cry if you want to. I'll listen to you grumble all night long while I gently pat your head. This was payback for the last time.
口なんてないよ。
You can grumble a little. Really, personally speaking, I'd rather you cried your eyes out and made us even. I was beyond pathetic when she'd done this for me, so it'd be great if you did the same to put us on equal ground, Reina.
いらない。別に言いたい愚痴とかないし。
Well, shit.
ただ、頭は撫でてほしいかな。
Reina spun herself around. She rolled over and faced my stomach.
撫でて。
On it, on it. I mimicked what she had done for me last time and stroked her hair. Reina's flashy, bleached hair was surprisingly glossy and pleasant to the touch. Reina looked like she was enjoying it. I mean, who doesn't love a good head scritch?
膝枕って強烈だね。
Definitely. Makes sense why I fell for you, doesn't it?
私のこと好きって、もしかして膝枕きっかけ？
It was certainly a big part of it.
うわぁ、オーロさん、意外と甘えん坊ちゃんですか？
Yes. I'm telling you, there was more to it than that. I covered my face with my other hand as I whisked my fingertips through her hair. You're a cheerful, kind, and considerate person. I'm sure I was drawn to you ever since we became friends. I love you, Reina. I confessed to her all over again. I was a total natural now and managed to say it without flubbing my words. It wasn't haphazard like the last time, and I'd managed to profess my love to her anew. What was her answer? I shyly pulled my hand away from my face. And Reina? Oh, no way. Had fallen asleep. You dozed off? With the mood we had going? Rude. I managed to deliver a super impressive confession, too. Unlike the last time, I was a huge bundle of nerves. Was this the relaxing effect of the coffee milk? She was legitimately out cold. I'm pretty sure it's the head scritches. Ah, yeesh. Not much I could do if she'd fallen asleep. I laid her down in bed. I slipped her under the covers so she wouldn't catch a cold. As for me, I guess I'd sleep over here. I brought a blanket over to the sofa with me. Wait, the sofa in our room or the sofa in the foyer? Are we actually going to sleep out here? Wow, that's a bit much, I think. Oh boy. I bundled up and laid down. We'd had a great thing going just now. But something told me I was being a little too hasty. Balance was difficult.
金色ラブリッチェ。2学期もあと2日ね。
今日と明日が授業で、土日を抜けたら月曜が終業式で、そして冬休みですね。シルビアさんは冬休み、お忙しいそうで。
1日も公務が外せないわ。年末はさすがに開くけれど、空いたらすぐに帰国して、今度は本国でいろいろな家を回らなきゃ。
大変ですね。
菊千代くんは？
年末はゆっくりできそうです。年始は7日で61の企業を回る過密スケジュールですが。
Wow. Nobles sure do have it rough, huh?
庶民はおこたでぬくぬくみかんでも食べてるよ。いいなぁ。
It is.
ねえ、聞いて2人とも。エルったらひどいの。あんなにみっちり予定を入れてるのに、もっと公務が入れられそうとか言い出すのよ。
Ella, where is your Christmas spirit?
そりゃ、クリスマスを無理やり開けてもらったのは私だけど。あ、なに？背中がかゆい。私の話、聞いてくれてないのね。かゆい。背中かゆい。なにこれ？
Quick, run outside, find a tree, and start scratching your back like a bear. Reina was squirming.
冬は乾燥しますし、厚着になるので汗もできますからね。
かも。やばい。奥だ。背中の奥の方かゆい。
Ah, sounds like hell. She was trying to reach around to her back, but her shoulder didn't seem flexible enough. She couldn't reach. However,
ちょっとジルビー、書いて。はいはい。
her leg just starts bouncing like a dog. Yeah, that's good. Scritch, scritch.
どう？ちょっと違う。もうちょっと横の。上？違うな。もっとこ
う。場所がわからないようですね。
That totally happens, especially when you dress heavy in winter. It could be quite perplexing, even if you used a back scratcher similar to try and satisfy the itch.
意識したらもっと痒くなってきたどうしましょう。ここかしら。シルビー、微妙な力加減でやらないで。逆に痒い。
Can her voice get any higher? She sounds like she's sucking on helium. Reina was squirming. Here? Rub. I rubbed against the area beneath her shoulder.
変な声出ちゃった。そこそこ、クリーンヒット。
Stay on target. Stay on target. That's so. Better keep it up then. I went around behind her and gave her some solid scratches.
レーナ、すごい顔になっているわ。いやー、これは。
Reina was squirming. The course of events led me to do this, but her back sure was soft. My hand still remembered the softness of her breasts, but her back was also pleasantly tender.
おはようございます。
Oops. Someone else had come. I pulled my hand away.
おはよう、エルチン。
朝から何です？変な声を出して。
いや、気持ちよくてさ。サンキュー、オーロ。もういいよ。
No problem. Sure.
オーロは人の背中を描くのも上手なのね。
Uh-oh. Everyone has at least one talent at their disposal, and I guess scratching people's backs is mine? Boy, that's a lame superpower. If so, my life would be hopeless.
よくわかりません。
It's contagious. Everybody has fleas. Just as Ellison set her bag down, she began to wriggle her shoulders.
どっかしたエルチン。
いえ、ちょっと背中が。
こっちもかゆいかよ。グッドタイミング。
Here I come to scratch the day.
今、オーロの素晴らしい才能が見つかったところなの。
I apparently have a knack for scratching people's backs. Now that I took the time to say it aloud, it was a depressing skill.
エルもぜひ試してみるといいわ。
いえ、私は普通に手が届きますが。
Ellison twisted her shoulders and scratched on her own. Athletic types like her seem to have limber joints.
ダメよ。オーロにやってもらう方がいいわ。オーロ、やってあげて。
はあ。
Try to seem a little less enthusiastic, why don't you? But for some reason, the princess ordered her to stop.
では、お願いできますか？
Will do. I went around to her back. Rub. Around here?
もう少し下。そのあたりです。
Then rub, rub, rub. I scratched in a massage-like fashion. Ellison's back must have been muscular and felt so taut and springy. Springy. All right, that's an interesting word choice. It had its rather alluring points for sure.
いい力加減です。おっしゃる通り、市松殿には才能があるかも。
Why, thank you.
ヒットした。エルが見たこともない顔をしているわ。写メ撮ろうよ、この顔。おやめください。
What is she doing? I'd love to see it for myself. It was a pity that I couldn't see her expression while I scratched her back.
おはよう。
You want one too?
背中がかゆいわ。
Oh, ho, ho, here we go. I'm about to make your entire opinion of me change. If the butt didn't do it, this will certainly do it.
次の生贄発見。それ、囲め。囲 さあオロ、次の子だよ。張り切ってどうぞ。どうぞ。
On it! I made my way behind Jogasaki now that Reina and Sylvie had caught her. Sneak attack!
後ろに来ないで。
There's a joke there. Whoa! She shouted at me.
ごめん、あやかっち。ジョークだったのよ。怒らないで。なれなれしい真似はやめてちょうだい。
Sorry. Her previous hostility may have disappeared, but I still wouldn't consider us on great terms. My attempt to touch her back without asking was a mistake, and I'd better reflect on that.
まったく。後ろに来られると思い出しちゃうじゃない。
Huh? She left, still angry. What little time we had remaining of our second term passed in the usual boisterous, rowdy fashion.
Loveriche!
The final day of second term.
今日が終われば、来週は終業式だけで、もう冬休みですね。
That reminds me, how's winter break going to affect radio calisthenics?
もちろん続けますよ。お休みでも朝は朝、一緒に燃えましょう。
Oh cool, are you going to be hanging out with us too, Akane?
と言いつつも、お休みに入ると皆さんご実家に帰省されるので、1日2日やったらおしまいとなりそうです。
Really? Alright!
来週からは忙しくなりますわ。
For you, maybe. You got the same schedule as Sylvie?
憂鬱ですわ。
Is Ella-san responsible for booking your stuff too?
王女さんは大変なのですね。頑張りましょう、神なるさん。心が燃えてれば、どんな過密スケジュールも熱い気持ちでこなせます。
Burning!
バーニングですよ。
There it is.
ですわね。
Oh, it worked. What's gotten into you?
燃えてきましたわ。さあ、ゲロ。2学期の締めくくりにふさわしくラジオ体操、気合を入れていきますわよ。ファイヤーです。
Oh, the hot-blooded types are multiplying. For the middle of winter, it was one sweltering morning.
おす。
Oh,
先週はもっとすごいことしたんだし、照れるのやめてくれる？
you make a very good point. Yeah, I gotcha. Reina turned up in her usual high spirits, so I answered her with as much of my usual energy as I could, which fluctuates. Oh, man. I was sure she meant it as a prank, but I wasn't such a ladies' man that I could act normally around her after the spur of the moment What? Must have missed that. But when that extended into the classroom, our relationship became more complex. I've decided to treat you-know-what like it's no big deal to overcome my shyness.
そう。
I'm not going to succeed, but I certainly will try. That being the case, wanna come over again tonight?
バーカ。
Reina let out a shrill laugh. Good. Back to our usual mood.
おはよう、オラ。何の話？
Just about how the massage Reina gave me felt really nice.
ああ、いいわね、レイナ。私もしてほしいわ。シルビーにはない部分を使うからね。
There are alternatives. We acted like our usual selves and ended the second term on a high note.
オーロ君、よろしいですか？
Sure. Kikuchio called out to me.
気になることがあってさ。
Saigo and Yamamoto were trailing closely behind. Okay, are we going back to this again? We moved away from the girls to chat.
実は昨日も3人で例の錦の湯へ行っていたのですが。
Just how badly do you all want to see naked girls? There's something called the internet.
誤解です。僕たちもう最近では普通に銭湯に通うのが好きになっただけです。
I'm skeptical but willing to believe you for the sake of killing this joke once and for all.
そうですよ。
ちょうどいいんだよ、あそこ。
Ah, so bathhouses are all the rage now?
ええ。
When all was said and done, the Japanese really did love to hop into a wide open bath.
あの庶民的な武骨なタイルと湯船の狭さが快適なんです。僕の家にある浴場は大理石やヒノキで作った25メートルプールくらいの広さなので落ち着かない。
Oh no! What a horrible situation! That lap of luxury must really be terrible. Everything you just said ticks me off to no end.
あそこは番台のおばあ様が大変上品でいらっしゃるから見守られながらお風呂というのがなんというか子供の頃に戻ったようで安らぐというか。
Is it just at ease? Is it really just at ease?
できれば一緒に入って背中を流してもらったり、いや逆に僕が彼女の背中を。ああ、たまらん。
That's more what I was thinking. Limit your fetish to MILFs. Hold off on chasing anyone older than that until you at least hit 50.
男3人裸の付き合いっていいもんなんだ。何も隠さず友人と接するってさ。市松も今度は一緒に来ないか？お前の裸も、いや、男同士の友情の意味で。
We're manly men, we're men and nothing. You've gone way past that.
とにかく錦の湯に行っていたのですが。
また例のあの野球部の連中とぶつかったんだよ。
From Hamanon?
はい。
It wasn't unusual for the whole club to head to that bathhouse as a group. I went all the time to wash away the sweat after practice back in the day. Talk about bad timing, huh? Why don't you get used to that already, though? I get that you're scared of some huge crowd of crew-cut muscleheads, but it's not like they pick fights with you, right?
いえ、怖かったわけではありません。おっしゃる通り、さすがに慣れました。
我々とは離れたところで入っていますし。
あの若々しい角刈りヌードに囲まれるってのもなかなか。
Sounds like there's no issue then?
はい。僕たちはいいのですが、島くんがいなかったのです。
Huh. That's interesting. Huh? Toryo wasn't?
それでさ、聞く気はなかったんだけど、聞こえてきたんだ。
Were they talking shit about me?
島くんですけど。
Were they talking shit about him?
野球部を辞めるかもしれない。
Oh. Oh hey, back on the roof. It's been a while since we've been up here. What in the world is going on?
本人からは何も聞いてない。
That evening, I called Toryo several times since lunch break, but he wouldn't pick up. Later, I got in touch with a mutual acquaintance. That's a really cold way to address your sister as a mutual acquaintance. However, it seemed he hadn't been in touch with her either.
日曜日、オーロくんに会いに行ったんでしょ？何も聞かなかったの？
The whole situation got a little bit hijacked. Sorry.
東亮くんは口下手なんだから気を使ってあげてよ。
I'm not his keeper or anything. Just his catcher. I'll send him a message too, so just tell him to call me the second he gets out of practice.
はいはい。
Huh?
なんだかんだでオーロくんいつでも東亮くんのこと心配してるよね。好きだよ、オーロくんのそういう優しいとこ。
Just tell him to call me. I hung up. How the heck was this going to play out? For crying out loud. There was no real way of telling since we went to different schools, but it did seem that the news of Toryo quitting the baseball club hadn't gone public yet. Yeah, that would be pretty big news. It was infeasible in the first place, since he was a star of hope for the Japanese baseball industry. The only logical reason for quitting would be due to an injury or otherwise, but he seemed fine when I saw him yesterday. Then, the only other reason I could imagine was the slump he had mentioned before had gotten worse. Everyone saw him as a rising star, which likely contributed to further stress and mental burnout. It wasn't impossible. That mentality of his was his greatest weakness. Give me a break. I could only hope this didn't turn into one giant pain in the neck.
どうかした？
Nothing.
ならその新規癖つら引っ込めろ。タバコがまずくなる。
Oh, I'm so terribly sorry that my mood is souring your healthy activity. Talk about harsh.
お前、嘘がつけるほどポーカーフェイスうまくないぞ。何があったんだよ。
Many things. Ria took a drag on her cigarette and looked downward as she spoke. This had become clear to me lately. Whenever she didn't look directly at me, it meant she was a little embarrassed. Thanks a bunch for your concern.
心配なんてしてねえよ。
How adorable. Sorry though, but I don't have enough of a handle on the situation to ask for advice yet.
あっそ。
That made me feel a little bit better though. Thank you, Ria.
だから礼言われることは何も。チェ。
Oh yes, we do so much. She really was cute. But how about that? The impatience had shown on my face that badly. Maybe Chayeka was right. Maybe I was still worried about him. Even though I was done with him.
じゃねえな。戸締まりよろ。い。
I could see a group of girls leaving one of the nearby classrooms. The fashion studio. I peeked inside. Like last time, Reina was working hard on one of her designs. As I expected, she was so focused on her task that she hadn't noticed me yet. The golden ratio, was it? She was working out her design using protractors, rulers, and the like to measure and allocate the clothing.
こっちを伸ばすとこのレースがな。
She seemed to be deep in thought while working through her process. It'd be bad to interrupt. Better head home. Just as I was about to leave the room... Rattle. Oh, sorry. My shoulder smacked it at the door. Curse my lack of spatial awareness.
あ、オーロ。どうしたん？
Nothing. I was just passing by and saw you were working. I won't interrupt. Wrap it up here before it gets too dark.
おう。
I headed outside.
オーロ。
Reina caught up to me and crudely raked her fingers through her hair. Oh, what's gonna happen? Gonna be something fun?
帰るなら一緒しよう。
Sweet, okay. You sure?
いいよ。今日はスランプ気味。スランプの時に根を詰めると変なデザインになるから。
Another theme has emerged. Gotcha. We decided to head back together. It's getting dark anyway, so this worked out perfectly.
だね。
We kept conversation light.
はあ、いよいよ冬休みだね。
The sun had set, and her white sigh instantly dissolved into the dark of night.
来週は終業式。つまり成績判定だけど。いかがですか、オーロさん。今のお気持ちは。
Existential dread. It's new to me, so I couldn't say. We had taken a bubble sheet-based test the other day. Ugh. And our scores would come back Monday. It wasn't just a test grade, but a report card of sorts that also took regular approaches to learning into account. Yeah, things were not looking good for me. Not only were my test grades abysmal, but my study habits were just as poor. Oh yeah, and I guess this time around we probably haven't done any kind of expert planning because we really haven't had any reason to. I'm sure that we'll do something by the end of the route, I just don't know what. I worked hard to stay at a level where it won't interfere with graduation. I want to graduate as peacefully as possible from Noble Academy to take advantage of their connections and eventually become a civil servant. Ah, we're back to that.
年寄りくさー。
Yeah, shut up. Oh, shut up. It was more than enough for me. Outsiders would likely consider it lame or believe it meant my life was miserable. And it was, but it pays the bills. But that's how I wanted it. I have no aspirations. I was exhausted by the idea of anything more complex than that.
そういえば、
Yeah?
朝から変な顔してたけど、何かあった？
Oh no, I think my face might have gotten stuck this way, but I can't be sure. Yeah. Reina's sharp observational skills were as sharp as ever and had struck fire for the first time in ages. There was no reason for me to hide it from her. You remember Toryo, right? The guy from the other day?
島君。
He might be a little off his game, literally and figuratively. He didn't say anything about it yesterday, so I doubt it's anything major. Even if it were, it's none of my business.
関係なくないでしょ。そんな一日中しかめっ面してるんだから。友達なんだからほっとけない。オーロってそういうやつだよ。
Maybe. Personally, I didn't think I fit into the nice guy mold. However, I wondered if it might be true now that Reina had said as much out loud. I guess it'd be great if it were. Our conversation naturally carried on, and she ended up joining me all the way here. I bet you remember everything that's happened the second you walk in here, huh?
まあね。
Well, we could hang out in your room, but it's probably a bit of a mess. Our sexual encounters had occurred in this very room, and it must have weighed heavily on her mind.
でもまあ、恥ずかしがることはないよね。50-50で。
I didn't know what type of drug it was, but it didn't sound like she was put off enough by me to run away. Reina took a seat in her usual spot, on the bed. Like clockwork, I handed her a ramoon. The beverage service always delivers.
サンキュー。
You're welcome.
でさ、島君だけど。
Yeah.
オーロって島君のこと嫌ってるとかではないの？
It's less hate, more indifference, or feigned indifference. Huh? Why?
だってつい先週だよ。島君が来て、オーロ精神的にメタメタだったじゃん。
True. Only Reina knew that I cried my eyes out after I saw Toryo.
でもほら、前の土曜、あれしちゃった日の午前は普通に遊んでたよね。どういう感情なの？
It's not as if I hate him. At the end of the day, we'd been friends since we were little. You've got childhood friends too, don't you? Like that handsome Hongo-san?
うん。
I wonder if it's the same. You get this feeling where you both do and don't force yourself to get along. My friendship with Toryo is like that.
わかるような、わからんような。
Reina tilted her head. In her case, I was sure she wouldn't burst into tears if she happened to run into Hongo-san. Our differences were trivial as far as I was concerned. It's just a little obnoxious, I guess. Him, or maybe more so when I remembered what happened between us. It was so obnoxious that it made me cry. But it isn't annoying anymore.
そうなの?
Yeah, it's all out of my system now. Thanks to everything you did for me.
ああ。
I was talking about the lap pillow, not the sex stuff.
わかってるって。いい話風だったのに、エロネタ挟まないでよ。
Anyhow, thanks to your incredible thighs, I don't consider him obnoxious anymore. Or the past, for that matter. After crying on her lap that night, I was able to think much more clearly than before. I'd come to realize that I was able to attend Noble Academy and meet Reina because I'd given up on the baseball club.
そっか。照れるにゃー。なんか私、いい感じのことをしてたっぽい?
It was a fine lap pillow. Good lap pillow. 10 on 10. Would do again. Reina smirked. She helped people like it were only second nature, yet didn't recognize such an ability as one of her strong or weak points. Much better than the ability to scratch any back itch.
オーロ、
Yes? Yeah?
あの時の約束は、まだ有効だからね。
Which one? Promise?
ここ。
She patted her thighs. Oh, that promise. Okay.
また来たくなったらいつでも来ていいって。
Huh? She was smiling bashfully. This promise, huh? Of course I hadn't forgotten. It's the one thing I haven't forgotten. I mean, heck. How about right now then?
はい?
If I said I wanted to right now, what would you do? Now she looked stumped. It was an abuse of our promise. This was supposed to be for when I wanted to cry, so I had no reason to have her provide a lap pillow at the moment. Not to mention that the lap pillow yesterday actually turned into an erotic incident. Oh. There was no white screen, so I didn't know. If she gave her consent, there was no telling how this would play out. But...
Skip
I won't deny that. For as awkward as Reina looked, her grin never faded.
じゃあ、その。
We're in! Reina tidied up the front of her skirt. Then she leveled out her thighs so they'd be perfect as a pillow. Damn it. I'm going to ignore that. I'm going to let it go to voicemail. It's fine. Damn it. I checked my cell phone. It's probably Toryo. Bastard. It was from Toryo. I knew it. That absolute nuisance.
オーロから電話してって言ったんでしょ? 出なよ。
I told him to call at a convenient time. Beep.
もしもし、オーロ。
What do you want? Hey, doing okay? By your tone, you sound like you're fine. Cool, cool. Catch you later then. So then, about that lap pillow, Reina.
ちゃんと出なさい。
Fine. God damn it. I called him back. Hello?
もしもし何だったんださっきの
It's nothing. It just kind of poured out of me for a second there. Don't worry about it. So, I'd imagine you've already heard from Chaika. I heard you're quitting the team? Toryo fell silent. What the hell? Tell me I'd never quit already. I knew better than anyone that he had no other path forward in life other than baseball.
なわけないじゃん
There we go. I bet. You see? Thought so. Either the guys misunderstood, or else Kikachiyo's little group misheard. I'd known as much the whole time, and I wasn't the least bit shocked.
また電話するよもう冬休みだよな今度千恵香ちゃんも交えて3人で会えないか
Alright, but don't let Sylvie know, otherwise she's going to assume it's a threesome. No need. I'm going to see Chaika over New Year's. See you later.
また電話する
Beep. He has a really funny way of showing his friendship with Chaika and Toryo. I mean, I know that they've gone through some stuff, and there's a lot of drama back there, but it's just like, wow, okay, that's a little harsh. I hung up. Man.
どうなった？
Nothing really. The topic of whether he might quit the baseball club came up, but it sounded like that was a huge misunderstanding.
なんでそんな話？
Who knows? It kinda just happened. I didn't know the particulars of what led to that misunderstanding, nor did I care to. With that out of the way, Reina, it's lap pillow time!
しつこいな。どんだけやってほしいのよ。
Oh yes. Of course I want you to.
うおー、逆ギレした。
I'll try, but you did say I could use your lap anytime. Hup!
危ね！
Plop. Don't dodge! I dove onto the floor, and also these symbols.
痛そうだね。
Lap pillow. You told me you'd do it for me. Flail.
流れるようにダダっこモード。この男できる。そしてうざい。まったくもう。
That I am.
おいで。
Hey, it worked though. Yeah! Pwoff. A lap pillow. No, an embrace. I buried my face into her chest. My face was in her boobs.
よしよし。落ち着け。
All the tension I'd worked up was absorbed into her boobs. They're good at that. I got to enjoy something even better than a lap pillow, but damn it, Reina was a cut above me in every conceivable way. That was how the last night of the second term came to an end. All that remained was the end of term ceremony on Monday. The only question left would be how the most climactic and decisive moment of our young lives would turn out.
Loveriche.
Alright, so this sounds like a good place to end this episode. So there's a lot of stuff going on right now. I have the sneaking suspicion that there's more to the situation with Toryo than we are currently gleaning. I do wonder if he actually is going to try to quit the baseball club, and I feel like Oro's really going to have to step up with his friendship and help Toryo to either stay on board or right the course somehow with things. I don't know. I guess we'll just have to see how that plays out. And then, of course, the really big thing is, how are things going to turn out with Reina's pregnancy? Is she pregnant? We don't know. We'll probably know in the next episode, at least the initial findings. The next episode is going to be pretty pivotal. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and hope to see you in the next one. For now, I am one half of the Bridge Boys, signing off.